Document. How do you feel? Like I'm coping? Someone asked Lena this morning on Quora, how are you coping? Because I'm going through exactly what you're going through with the spirit of a famous person that I never met in life. Right? That died 25 years ago or something? Yeah. More of these are going to pop up now. And people are going to ask you how you're coping, because they're not coping. And I want to know, what was your answer? I said the first word that comes to mind is faith. Because you have to have blind faith when this is happening to you. This connection. You know, John turned my entire existence upside down in 2013. I thought I was all set. I was trying to have a baby. At 50 years old, I was excited that my husband was in remission from cancer, and I was trying to have a baby. Yes. I was excited about what was going to happen next for me and Christopher. I felt like anything was possible. I was so happy that he was going to live. And then John came. And overnight I wanted nothing to do with my husband, who I thought I was madly in love with. Or at least very devoted to. Now I know I wasn't. It's more like desperation. I don't know what it was. I love Christopher as a person, and always have. He's a good guy. He has a really good heart. I've said this before. But my whole life turned upside down. And there was really no turning back. Once John made his reappearance in my life, and I say reappearance because my connection, my earthly connection with him, really started around 1974 here in New York City. So I told that person who asked, how are you coping? Faith. And then I said, and then, you know, the only other thing I can say, why are you crying? Because you are. I know. It's going to be one of those heavy days, but not in a bad way. Okay? We're healing from, I think, the trauma of being on different dimensions. Yeah, it's traumatic. It is traumatic to not have what everyone else has. I don't see, the thing is, once you have this connection, you don't want what everyone else has. You don't even care that they have someone physical and you supposedly don't. It doesn't matter. You have this connection and you don't care about anything else, because it's so real and healing and loving. This kind of love you will never find this anywhere else. Or at least I never knew it existed on this earth, that I could feel this way. This feels like when you were back home, only you're not. If you're me, you're still here. And I don't know, this is me coping today. You know, not every days like this, but John wanted me to talk about it, so. And Lena watched a movie with me yesterday, of course with me. We always watch them together. It was called Olive Kitteridge, and it was starring Frances McDormand, and it was a very vivid depiction of a woman very much isolated from others, very unto herself. She has a twin flame. He dies early on in the movie. Right. It's not her husband, who she is a longtime companion and who she has a similar relationship that Lena has with Christopher. Mutual love and respect, but he is no flame. Her flame leaves the earthly realm. She is a loner. She stands alone. And I think that movie left you somewhat shaken. It did. It did. You're not alone. I'm not alone. And that knowledge is how you cope. And that knowledge has always been how I have coped over the decades, with and without you. And today, this is our service. This is us coping. And we're going to get up in a little while, and we're going to do a beautiful art project that we've been planning. And we're going to talk. And I'm going to make you smile. If it kills me. If it kills you, huh? I like to see that. How many times can we kill you, Lennon? You slay me every day, kid. Every day. So, anything you would add to that person who's trying to cope? Just hang in there. That's what I said. I said, go. Our blog is huge. I know it's a lot to weed through, but go back and look at it and help yourself. There's like 900 entries or wherever the fuck it is, and you know, it tells our story as much as we've been able to jot and jot. It's intense. It's a novel. We have it in hard copy, and it's huge. You know, so it's got like really explains most, and it's still not everything. It's still not everything. We have never documented our physical, our very brief but very crazy physical contact here on Earth when I was a kid, a teenager, just turning 18, and John was, well, that's not going to be documented. As far as I could tell, John said, that's ours, Lena. Right. We've talked about it and alluded to it a little bit, and I can't write about it. He won't let me. And we write about everything else. But he's like, nope, not yet. But we will, but not yet. That's ours. But I will say briefly that my father was working for John for a couple of years in Manhattan. And the connection was made when I was a buxom young lass and Johnny was a dirty old man in his 30s. God. Anyway, that's as much as we'll say about that. Then I got a smile and thinking back. That was a very confusing time for me. And I was in a bad way too. And you were too. Yeah. But until your little soulmate Shawnee there came along, but that's a whole nother story. Listen, I don't want to get confused by that whole thing right now. I don't want to think about that. I like the idea that we don't write about that. It's too heavy for me, and it's crazy. And what it does is it shows me just how troubled my youth was and how my family affected me. Good God, you know. Anyway, for you who wrote to me out there this morning, you learn how to cope. You build coping skills, but they have to be revolving around faith and God and Mother. Praise be God and Mother. They are the ones that are going to get you through this. You have to pray. You have to meditate. You have to find uh, your own toolbox. You have to build your own toolbox. I can give you some great advice about recordings to listen to, books to read, and ways to communicate with your twin, that you'll soon be in a good communication space where he can help you more. Because he's trying to get through to you now. And the reason that you found me online out there is because we're going to help you. Yeah. If you pay attention, right? Yeah. As a matter of fact, just right on this video, we were asked, how do we cope with a multi-dimensional, and she'll find it, and we'll get the ball rolling, because we're here to help, no matter all the fun we have, and all the art that we bring you, and the music that we bring you, and we have a lot of laughs, and that's what it's all about. You got to enjoy this journey together, because it's a gift and it's beautiful. But what you have to do is realize that there's going to be days where you're confused and maybe frustrated, that your life is turned topsy-turvy and not what it was, and not what anyone else's is. But don't worry about what anyone else's life is. This is John giving advice, by the way. Don't worry about what anyone else's life is, because God only, that's the 1212. Yeah, that was our signifier. Everyone's got their own fucking path. And, yours is yours, and you got to learn how to navigate it real well. In fact, let's post that poem too about the twin flame navigation tips. Let's read it right now. Okay, that sounds great. Okay, this is a terrific poem that we wrote back in 2014. It's called, what is it? Twin Flame Mission Navigation Tips, right? Sharing is quite noble, dear. Our intentions pure and good, though not everyone will get us, and not everybody should. We all have paths to follow, live in our own unique way, to stroll on in the evenings and dance on in the day. Some days we might find easy, others seem a heavy load, but each one has its purpose on this long and winding road. Just lean on me, my darling, when the footing becomes rough. I'm here to guide you through it. Yes, our love will be enough to get us over the hurdles safely and secure. Our faith in God and Mother will protect us both for sure. Our road is not so winding. No, it's rather straight, in fact. And we know we're on the right one, 'cause we've been to hell and back. I love you. I love you, sweetheart.